Welcome to the Talk It Out Show. I'm your host, Joanne. First of all, we'd like to let you know that this show is for entertainment purposes only. If you want to look us up on Facebook or Twitter, look us up on Talk It Out Show. And if you want to go ahead and email us at talkitoutshow@gmail.com. If you want to go ahead and physically send any of your questions to us, you can go ahead and send it to our P.O. Box at P.O. Box 901043, Portland, Oregon, 97290. Well, as you know, I have my panel of lovely ladies. I'm going to introduce those lovely ladies to you. To my right, we have Lydia.
Hello, everyone.
And of course, we have our lovely Valerie.
Hi, everybody.
All right, you guys. Lauren's not here today. She'll be back later on. We want to just thank you guys for tuning in to us. We were having a discussion, and I thought it was very suiting for us to continue the discussion and talking about basically how our systems are, the way they are with our children. They're giving our children rights when we're taking care of our children and providing everything for them, but then also they're not giving us a voice. They're not allowing us to have a voice. When they hit a certain age, especially that 15, I don't know what that 15, they just let them have whatever, and they with the school systems, the healthcare system, things like that, they're making it to where they can make their own decisions without telling their parents.
That is right.
Yet also, like Lydia was stating, is the fact that when something goes wrong with them, then you want to look at the parent. You can't look at the parent if you're not allowing the parent to have any say-so in their lives or in the things that the decisions that they're making in their life, the things that are going on. And I was voicing about how I know for a fact about that. I was basically on both ends of that, going to the school clinic, doing whatever I wanted to do, my own, even though I had health care coverage with my parents, doing whatever, and then later on in life, dealing with the consequences of getting on birth control, getting on medications that I had side effects to, not knowing. And then, my parents getting mad going, hey, why didn't you say anything to me? Because I was sitting there making my own decisions, and now I'm an adult and having to deal with all these consequences of getting all these medications that my parents had no idea. So they're giving us the rights like an adult when we are not an adult yet. We're not adults. We're not paying the rent. We're not keeping a roof over our head, things like that. Now I can see if you got emancipated or whatever but you're not. You're living underneath your parents' roof. They're providing food, shelter, everything for you, clothing, whatever, and they need to be able to make the decisions for you. But our systems are messed up and making it to where they are giving them more rights for us. But why? Why are you going to come to us with this? Then when they mess up, you want to come look at us. Yes. Don't come look at us now because you didn't ever give us a voice when we're supposed to.
You took our voice.
Yeah,
and so
at 15 years old.
Yeah, so they're
grown.
Yeah,
they're grown. They ain't paying no rent.
They ain't paying no. Can't even pay the electric bill.
They ain't paying no light bill.
That's a bad.
They ain't buying no groceries
because their attitude changes already at that age.
At that age,
and they get that know-it-all, smart mouth, this and that. And if you give them that, that just like that. People say, "Oh, well, you text me, I'm gonna call," or you just say, "I'm gonna call." They use that again because they're taking we can't even raise our kids.
Yep.
They're not allowing us to raise our kids, but then you want to get mad when they're out there acting a fool, and then you want to be like, oh, look at them, they bad, that's a bad kid, their parents ain't. No, you guys caused this. Society caused this.
And my understanding, I understand that there's some extremes, but that's part of their jobs to get to the extremes, because my understanding is that they have kids that they put in cages, and they doing very strong abusive things to their kids.
And then you deal with that person. You don't make a rule.
You don't make for
everybody. So you got 100% here, and you got 10% of people acting a fool, but you don't punish the whole 90%. The
whole 90%.
So it's only 10% that's abusing,
that is doing it,
putting the kids in the cage and all that. And rightfully so, they need to be snatched from their home. And rightfully so, they need to be checked on and stuff. But I've seen where it be a bad parent ain't paying attention to their kids, messing around with their man that's already molested their kids, and they helping them out, getting them housed and doing all that stuff. They helping them out. Now be a parent that's doing good and making sure their kids get an education out, and they heard one negative thing, they got a whooping, and you want to snatch their kids forever.
Yes.
That's the problem I have. It's like, if I'm a horrible parent, you're going to help me out.
Yeah.
If I'm a good parent, you ain't gonna give me housing, you ain't gonna do nothing. But a horrible parent, you gonna give me housing, you gonna pay the rent for 2-3 years, you gonna do this, you gonna give them. Matter of fact, they already get $1,000 for food stamps and they got 18 kids. Now you gonna give them an extra $1,000 because you know what?
And they most likely selling them to do whatever.
And my thing is, again, and it's the parents that are doing something that's always being penalized. So you penalizing the 90% of the parents, where because 10%, and then you still spoiling the 10%.
And I just don't understand when did a voice become strong at a 15. Yeah. I mean, I could probably even lean with you at 17. I probably could lean with you. But I can't lean with you at 15 years old. Your hormones kicking in. Yeah. You don't know if you should go left, right. Should I lay on the floor, roll over? You don't know nothing, and your parents are there to kind of help you and guide you. If you're going to do anything, some tools should be given to the parents that are trying to raise that 15-year-old. Instead of just saying they got a voice and they got the right. They ain't got no right. They ain't paying nothing.
Valerie has a very, very, very good point. And that's where I think the system is messed up. Because raising kids is hard in the first place. So what I'm heard her saying, and it is so true, if people feel like they have it, basically how it's supposed to be or whatever, then give the parent, if you see that parent struggling, or you see that parent, or you feel that they need help, give them help in a positive way.
Yes.
Assist them. Give them resources. Do whatever you need to do. Sometimes it's hard. Like, I tell people all the time, I really believe in mental health for people, because a lot of times, in our culture, it was like a stigma a while ago, and you're like, oh, you crazy, da, 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 da. But my whole thing was, I'd rather be a better person, a better mother, a better spouse, a better whatever. Give myself together, because if I sit there and don't take care of myself mentally, then I'm going to lose it, and I'm not going to be good to anybody.
I agree.
So my whole thing is,
I'm a so agree. I'm a so agree. Because I've learned, as having foster kids, I've learned that even the people that are helping you with your mental, they try to persuade you towards with DHS.
Oh no, I got that.
I mean, just and then that's
I'm talking about.
I mean, my thing, if you're gonna get one, you gotta get one that has their own practice, that is with your culture, that has an understanding of your culture.
Yes.
Because my thing is, I don't care that we all were raised and born in the United States of America. Our culture is totally different.
Yes.
We don't act like the white people. The white people don't act like the black people. None of us act like the Asian or the or Germany or any of those people, or the Portuguese or whatever. We don't act like Native American. And my thing is, if we can respect Native American and their culture, why can't we respect our culture? You don't know our culture.
That's right.
I know my child better than you do. Regardless if you want to believe it or not, I know my child better than you do.
That's right.
And the reason my child can act up and act a fool in school, where you want to now give them Ritalin and all them other stuff and want to claim them to be ADHD, is because we're trying to follow your rules for your kids. And your kids are not our kids. And our kids, we do this. We are A, B, and C.
Right.
And you can call it corporal punishment. You can call it whatever you want to. But it's been working for us for many years. And all of a sudden, you now telling us not. Now they smart mouth, disrespectful, ain't listening to nobody, and everybody's scared of the kids. And the kids being scared of us.
Yeah.
Is it a Pacific Northwest thing? Is it because the Pacific Northwest views it different because we're predominantly different culture?
Yeah, because
and so we don't have very many of our own culture in the Pacific Northwest.
I'm gonna say the Pacific
is that
Northwest.
What's happening?
No, but I'm gonna say it's. I think it's throughout the United States. I just think in the South, people leave you alone. More in the South, and even white people discipline their kids like black people do in the South.
That's right.
In the South, they do. Like I hear, when I went to Louisiana, the white parents are like, "Don't in the mall. I will whoop your A if you go over there and touch that. You think I? Well, I told you in the car, you ain't buying that, you ain't getting that." And I was like this.
Yep. But over here, they say, don't you talk to their child like that. You need to give them and put them in timeout and put them over.
Oh, let me give you a story. I had a foster child. I took him to the store. The child was acting up, and the child knew. This is what got me. The child acted up in the store purposely, because in the car the child was cool. The child got in the store, acted up plain a fool. The white people were looking at the child like, you just gonna let your child. So she just like, okay, y'all must all agree with me. He needs to be popped. Yes. So she popped him.
Oh,
then they gonna look and say, then they go like, why did you hit the child? That's why the child is so violent. But you see the child ain't moving no more, right? You see the child ain't moving no more, right? Is there abuse on my child? Is there any bruises on my child? No, there's no bruises on my child at all. So it's like why you want them to shut up and the next time? Now when we took the same child, went to another store. Now the child with me. The child's throwing the tantrum. And you know, I'm crazy, but I'm like, this ain't my child. So I'm just rolling child like that. I remember a black person was like, oh, if that was my child, I would tear that child up. I said, me too. Since it ain't my child, I am not tearing this child. Mom over there. But me too. I agree.
And you know, I was tripping because my dad, and you know, I was raised under my dad, and I think of that I grew up to be a pretty good person.
You did.
You know what I mean? And so my dad is raising his last child in different culture, you know, mixed. And so he whooped his butt. And the child knew his protectional rights. So he ran over to DS, whatever DHS, and told them that my dad whooped my booty. And they said, you can't whoop the booty, you can only hit the hands.
Hit the hands.
And so he had to go take a class. He had to go take a class to whoop the hands. I said, whoop they. And to this day, that child is still messed up. Because they didn't allow him to go ahead and whoop that boo.
But you know what? I had a child, and again, in foster care.
What is that?
Through a tantrum I have never seen in my life. So I had called DHS. Like, I'm calling you because this person is clowning. Yeah. And not only the person is clowning, I put her in a room so she can clown by herself. Yeah. And so she's yelling, don't shoot me. Don't shoot me.
And what you doing?
That's what she said, don't shoot me. And nobody's there. So my cousin came over there, the same age, and said, ain't nobody got a gun at you, whatever. She's just yelling and screaming. And I'm like, if somebody walked in front of my house right now, they would thinking called the police. So I called DHS, again, no response.
Nope.
So you know what my butt did, because you know there's no response. They're not responding to anything that I'm saying about this child's temper.
They don't want to be bothered.
Yeah, they're not saying anything. So I did the only thing I could do. I called the police.
I'll call the police. Yeah, that's what I would have did.
So she threw a tantrum. I called the police. My roommate was like, I just want you to sit out here for a minute and listen. So you can hear she's throwing the high chair. She's throwing there. She's acting a fool. The police looked. I said, so the police comes in. That girl sat down like this.
Like she never did nothing.
And that police officer said, oh, for her to know how to act in front of us, she's seen this before. I said, He said, and he told her, if you was my child, I would whoop your butt. I about almost fainted because, you know, police officer. You're right, too. And then you know what he told me? You know what he told me? He said, there's no law that you can't whoop her. That's only a rule for DHS. There's no law you can't whoop her. As long as you don't leave a bruise, you can't whoop her. He said there's no law against that. I mean, they can take her from your home or whatever, but there's no law that you can't whip her. He said, do you know even in schools today,
it's still
they never took it off the law that the teachers can whip your kids. I said, well, now, hallelujah. And me and him had a problem. And the moment he left, I asked the police write all this down, everything. He said, I'm writing it all down. He wrote her name, everything. I wrote it all down. He gave me my little piece of paper and everything so I can give it to DHS. And he left. She went back to throwing the tantrum.
Yeah.
Oh.
She went right back.
So next day I called and said, I called the police on her. They called back. Now they call back.
Oh, because you said
I called the police on her.
Oh, yeah?
I got paperwork.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Say that, girl. You said something. And I called the police on her. For some reason, they go, oh.
Then what I did.
We need to do something.
Why did you call the police? Because I called you a whole bunch of times. And she was saying things that would have had the police come to my house.
That's right.
And that would have took away my kid. And I'm not losing my kid for no child. And because you guys didn't want to respond, was gonna cover my behind.
Yeah, exactly.
So me and my lawyer, we got this paperwork to let you know.
That's how you do it.
And then all of a sudden, if I call, they hurry up because I said, I'm calling police. You think I want to call police on a little kid? I don't care. Now when it's going to affect my household,
look at what she.
and then I got her all trained and all that. They gonna adopt her away. And guess why they adopted her away? It's guess. Because her sister looked like one of the kids they already adopted. There wasn't no love. And then that child went back into the system. And now is unadoptable. And then they made sure that child couldn't see me. So every time that child see me, they moved her to a different foster home. And what made me so mad, and this is where I get mad at black people, what made me so mad is that a person that knew me, because I was in Signs of Praise, was a supervisor. And she never did anything.
So what you're saying
that knew me very well. And still works. If I call them right now to help me with GNC, be right there.
So okay, so I got a clarity because I'm slow, and I'm feeling like somebody in the View and Honest may be like me on slow. And so you're saying that after they took the child away, and somebody said I'm going to adopt this child, and because she looked like one of my other ones, so we'll look like a blended family of some kind. I don't know who thinks that way, but that's fine. And so then after that. Then what? The child acted up, so
did everything I told them that she was going to do.
She did it.
Because I said she throws a tantrum. She's a psychiatrist, white lady. I'm a psychiatrist. I know how to. No, this is a different kind of tantrum. This is not a normal one. So I'm trying to help, even though DHS took my right away because I should have been the first person to adopt. Do you know what they said? Oh, we didn't include you because when we first asked you a year and a half ago,
you said no.
I said no. I said, that's a year and a half ago. I still get first rights. You still need to ask me. And then you took her out of my house, put her over there because I was talking to her mom and socializing with her mom. That they didn't want me to do that because they didn't like the mom. But I'm like, I'm looking at the welfare of the child, not the welfare of you.
And so they the people of the powers that be. And so they decided to take her and put her in this home. Yeah. And then it didn't work out because she threw on the floor and told them that she
dressers, beat up the kids,
and said they got a gun, they tried to shoot me, just common. Just in that house, and I'm sure the psychologist that has a degree in this didn't know what she's supposed to do or not supposed to do.
Because she can't handle a black child.
She wanted to give it back to the system.
Gave it back to the system.
And it wasn't supposed to be. I remember that was not supposed to happen. They were supposed to have adopted them, and that was it. So it was supposed to go back. And that paperwork. They weren't supposed to go back into the system.
Finalized. She didn't do it.
That's why that threw me off because I had.
No! When you adopt a DHS, you can give a kid back. Now in the real world, no, but in DHS lands, you can get a kid, and then you're now marked as unadoptable. So that when she saw me and she wanted to see me and visit me and all that, they said no and moved her to a different foster home.
So you don't know even to this day how that even worked out for her.
Well, she's an adult now. She's like 19,
she's
20.
An adult. So she's
my son is 17.
Throwing stuff.
So that means my son is 17. That means she's 21. Yeah, and that was DHS. And now the other, mind you, they only gave that one back. The other two they kept. Yeah. The one that looked like the other adopted child, they kept her. And then they changed all their names. Not change their name as when they're babies. You changed their name when they knew their name.
Yeah, that's.
And not only did you change it to where you knew, you changed it to your culture's name.
Right, so you can feel like you said in society acceptable. So she didn't get to be her native name, which might have been Shameda, Portia.
It wasn't even really a bad name, and then it was just my thing. It was like you had this 8-year-old and this 4-year-old, and no, I think she was 10 or 4. I don't know how old she was. I think she was 10 and 6. They knew their name for that many years, and you don't change it.
Yeah.
And then you cut. And I remember the youngest one, she wanted to grow her hair out. So we worked on and we did all this different stuff and got stuff to make her hair long. She said, I want to see if I can get my hair to my feet. Okay, I got you. Hair long. Got with you for 5 seconds. Hair is the same length as the girl She looked like.
Wow. So they made them look like they twins or something.
Yeah. But that's not abuse. That's DHS working.
Because DHS, I'm trying to understand where DHS goes into play, because they're supposed to be there to protect the child.
They're not there to protect the child. They're there to do whatever they want to do. So, and as I said, DHS, even like my mom had foster kids. My mom was trying to make sure they could prepare for the real world and be able to handle themselves in the real world. DHS let them kids do whatever they want. They tore up my mom's house. Didn't want to pay for it to tear up the house. Like the one girl said on the phone, here's the washer and dryer, probably right there. The girl said to him, arguing with her boyfriend, flooded the whole house. She didn't know. Mom came in the house and water's leaking into the garage and down to the basement. And then they want to fight, and then they go get cheap stuff to fix up what they damaged. And as I said, DHS is, I do not like them. I do not like them. I have not heard any real positive things about DHS. Now, there's some positive, there's like 1, 2, 3, maybe 4. I'm going to say 10% good caseworkers. But because they got to follow the rules of the corrupted DHS, who cares about the 10 good caseworkers?
And that's why
because they go back and they override with the case with the.
So do they get to the point they allow that the parent be united with their own children?
You have after they've taken the child?
Yeah, if the parent is still on drugs and the parent is wackadoo, the parent is homeless, the parent is still going to cuss and beat their child, yeah, you can go back to that home. Now, the ones that are doing better, including the kids I was just talking about, went to all the classes, did everything you told them to do, no, you can't go back to that one. They lied and said, if you don't sign over your rights, and we go above your head to do it, you will never see your kids again. So she signed it like a dummy. I told her not to. She never got to see her kids again. She did what they told her. And they're like, no, you get to see it. There will be an open adoption. Nope.
I think that's what's hard because
DHS, like I said, people act like DHS is this world. No, you're corrupting. If you're not a bad parent, if you're a bad parent, yes, your kids can go to DHS and you will get your kids back. And you halfway did something, yeah. But if you're a parent trying your best, and you know how they got her kids? Let me tell you how they got her kids. Not that they came into her house and snatched her kids from her. Not that something abuse happened to her. She asked for help.
That's sad. That's really sad.
She asked for them to help her.
And they snatched give her some tools.
And that's what she
give her some tools. And then they followed all the stuff and said, your house is dirty. I can go over to every crackhead's house and it's dirty. I can go to a lot of people who got 8 to 10 kids' house and their house is dirty. What does that got to do? They ain't none of this. If you don't see a crack pipe, some cocaine, some something, why does it matter if their house is dirty? Is it dirty to the point where it's like the junkyard, or is it dirty because it's kids and I'm tired and I don't feel like cleaning at this moment?
Okay, there you go.
Because right after I clean, they come back out.
That's it up again.
And they go
so what kind of dirty is it?
And it goes on at certain ages in their lives. You know, from 8 to 12 to 13, they have 14 almost. They ain't cleaning. They just drop.
My 17-year-old will leave his plate down to say, if you don't come, I was going to come back up. No. I know you were going to come back upstairs, but I mean, put the plate up, because you wasn't going to come back upstairs and put the plate back. Yeah. And what harm is it for you to pick up the dish and put it in the sink?
Because they don't until they get their own house. And then they
all of a sudden
they got the nerve to say their house clean.
Yeah.
Right.
But my thing is, regardless of that, I just get so mad because DHS has destroyed so many families. And it's just one of those things that irritate me. It's just, it's an irritating, like right now, one of the foster kids got her sister's kids. And the sister got really drunk. And somehow it just came out the daughter finally said that your boyfriend that you have these 2 other babies by has been molesting me. So she called the police. I was like, oh, she did this. She called the police and everything. Told the police this and this. And the police said, okay, so all you need to do is take her to this thing right now so she can get checked and make sure everything's all right.
They took that.
She left. No, listen, she left. The police officer left. She said, I'm not doing that right now. I'm tired. And my foster sister said, I'll do it. Just give me the rights to do it. You can have all the rights to do what you got to do. And she went back to sleep. And then when they was calling her, she was like, I'm not doing nothing. I'm not going nowhere. You know where she went yesterday? to the caseworker's office because they're going to help her get a place.
But she didn't want to get up and...
No. So my sister's taking care of her kids and her at this moment. And she's getting ready to move out. And she's now talking to the guy again. That molested the oldest daughter.
That make me hot.
And now she's at the caseworker's office yesterday.
To get a place.
Because they're going to help her get a place.
That's
DHS time!
They'll help you, but you got the men that you're with, they can molest your child.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's okay.
And that's what she was saying. She was like, my boyfriend got accused and then got exonerated and still had to stay in jail. This dude hadn't even went to jail yet. I said, press charges. You got custody of the kids for it, because she got custody of the kids for a while. You got custody of the kids for 6 months? Take her down there, press charges.
That's crazy.
And then he'll go to jail. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, why didn't DHS do it? Because you know what? I'm giving her back to the horrible mom. Mind you, this is not the first time the mom went through this. This is her third time.
Oh, no.
Not with the molestation, but the third time of being in DHS.
System.
And we're going to help you get a
like the actual child welfare part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And then my thing is, my sister got all these kids, and she got to struggle.
Right.
You ain't helping her, you know.
No.
Because I'm like, you ain't a horrible mom. You got to be a horrible mom to get these treatments.
But I don't know. It's hard, too, because people always, you'll have these horrible people, these horrible mothers or horrible parents, it's the same parent. And then the ones that are, like you said, are trying, then you got everybody sitting there looking at them, judging them and this and that. Like you said, it ain't even just...
It's almost like they're judging. They're your neck. You know what I mean? Like you're guilty before they even prove that you're not.
Yeah,
you know, you're just guilty.
And it's when you're trying. That's what I'm saying. When you're actually doing and trying and struggling, and that's why I think it hurt my heart when you said that they got taken because she asked for help. And I think that let me know that's exactly what I just said was, why do not we provide these people with resources? And like you said, because if I go to you saying I need help, now all of a sudden you're taking everything from me. You're taking my kids. People don't understand. I'm sorry. And I would not be in a good mental spot. You take my kids from me, I'm not going to be in no good mental space. I'm not. Especially if I'm doing all I can. And this world is hard enough as it is to survive in and provide everything. It's just, people don't understand the things that, I don't know. I gotta tell people they don't know the things that I even do because it's hard for me because I be in the system, the same situation, not having much, working on much. So you sitting there trying to hustle, you taking cans or you this and that, and to know that all these efforts, you're trying, and go, you're bad. And that's why I got to the point where I didn't let nobody in my house. Everyone knows that. Because my thing was, I got to the point where people came in with that judgmental thing, and I said, look, don't come in my house if you don't understand that I have 5 children, 5 kids, that my house is not going to look like Home and Gardens when you walk in. It's not going to look like House and Gardens.
You're tired and you're running in here and doing this.
And again, you got 5 kids.
If I did make it look like House and Gardens for a second, 5 minutes later, it's not going to look like House and Gardens because they're going to come in there and trash it just that quick.
Yeah,
I need to take a picture.
Yeah, and then people walk in your house and start judging your house, and they'll call DHS.
And that's what I'm saying. Anything you do, I don't care if it's the school, somebody down the street, and you have your kids. Everybody want to call DHS, and I already told my kids, you're going to call DHS. I'm not fighting for you.
That's what and that's bad.
I'm not fighting for you. And then people can judge and go, why would you fight for them? Because they made the opportunity to call them. Because you wanted to control me. You're not controlling me. I'm raising my kids so they can make it. I want my kids, even right now, none of my kids are an adult. If I die today, I want my kids to be able to make it. So my oldest son is 17. All my kids should be able to get together and they know how to run a business. They know how to do everything. I have trained them so they can prepare in the real world. Because I said, ain't nobody going to be there for you. No. So you better do it by yourself. Because right now what they going to do is get y'all, they're going to act like they're going to put y'all together. They'll put you guys together for 5 seconds. One of y'all act up, they're going to split you up.
That is correct.
So my thing is you need to learn. So you call DHS. Now if I'm abusing you and I'm hanging you up and I'm beating the mess out out of you, and I'm putting hot sauce in your eyes, and yes, go call DHS. Your life is in danger. I'm whooping your butt because you done did something wrong. You done caught my house on fire. You sitting up here doing something. Yes, you deserve that whooping. You call DHS.
Yeah, that's right.
Then bye. I'm not fighting for you. When my son ran away, I said, I'm not looking for you. I'm going to do the proper protocol.
Yeah.
I'm going to call the police and tell them you're a runaway. This and that. So whatever you do out there, it won't come back on me because I already knew you was a runaway. It's just like if your car gets stolen, you call the police and you report it.
Yeah.
Whatever happened with your car, it killed somebody, something, it's not on you because guess what? You reported your car as a runaway. That's
right.
what I did with my kid. Now you go out there and make your bed and you going to lie in it. So like now he's like, well, Mom, I need you to go up there and say, no, I need you to tell them I'm not on the list, so I'm not going to tell them why you were tardy. Now he was tardy because it was with me because we're trying to get passport, but I'm not going in there to tell them that. You know why? Because I'm not on the list. You know why? Because you chose this path. I don't care. When you enrolled yourself in school, you should have put my name on there because you knew, regardless of anything, I was going to be there. And I told him he was going to come back. So my thing is, that's where I lay with my kids. Now, again, if I abuse you, yes, all right. But am I going to whoop your behind? Yes, I am. If I'm going to tear your butt up, I told DHS that when my family called on me over and over again, and I almost had to cuss them out the last time. Yes, I whipped my kids. And they interviewed every last one of my kids. So why do you guys keep coming back to my house on the same conversation?
Right.
I never denied that I didn't whip my kids. I did whip my kids.
Okay.
And I do whip my kids. If you gonna burn down my house and we ain't got no place to stay, oh, you getting your butt beat.
Oh, yeah.
You getting your butt beat. I don't care how you look at it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You know, my one son loved to steal. So if he gonna steal in the house, do you think I'm gonna let him have freedom to go outside?
He gonna steal out there.
Because he's gonna steal, then you
They
can't
gonna go to jail.
Yeah, right. And you can't go with your siblings. Your siblings can't go with you because if you steal and they with you, they going to jail with you.
Everybody.
Yeah. So I'm raising my kids.
And
yes, am I strict? Yes, I'm very strict. I don't play. I don't coddle my kids because I know the world is not going to coddle them. So I'm not going to sit there, put a pacifier in your mouth to shut you up, or put a bottle in your mouth. I'm going to be harder on you because I want you to be prepared.
Yes.
I want you to be successful. And how dare DHS or anybody on the outside want to say something about me to there. Mind you, I've never had any complaints about the outside. It's only just these family members that don't have nothing to do with my kids. Hey, wait, they don't have nothing to do with my kids. Ain't never seen my kids. And then one time because my sister passed away, you around, and then you still don't come over to my house, and then you gonna say we abuse them. How do you know?
Yeah.
If you ain't never been in my house, my thing is, why do you come to the house to check to see if he's being abused?
I mean, what do you see? Is there a sign that says abuse right here? Right here in this room.
No, my son told
abuse you.
him. My son told him that he was being abused. I said he's a liar. You know this. And that's what I told the police. And I told DHS. I said he's a liar. Yeah. I said you could go when we had our own business. My son was all over the place. And you can ask everybody. They know him. And he
but
was
do they
everywhere.
check with everybody?
No.
They don't?
Because I told him, I said, you can go down there now. Go to the new spot where we were in the building. Go to the new spot.
That's right.
And talk to anybody. You can talk to security. He has never told anybody he was being abused. Matter of fact, he loved us and we the best family in the world.
Right.
He only told them. You know why? Because they don't like me.
Right.
And so this is how they react.
It's a form of manipulation.
Right. And
so how
did they come around that? How did they...
I said you can check. They was in a foster care.
So did they just say, okay, we're gonna just go ahead and let them come back? Well, I mean, what did they do?
They never took them. They just came over. I talked to the lady. The lady sat down and talked to me, and I explained everything about the one child that is doing it. And I told them how the family is and all that. And then she talked to each kid individual, and then she came back and said everything's fine. We're probably gonna just close the case. If I call you, whatever, blah blah blah, we're gonna close the case. I gotta go through my supervisor. And I ain't heard nothing else about it. It was done. So 8-9 months later, he runs away. Knock on the door. Yeah. Well, this was... Okay, you talking about something that's in January. You was here January. Why are we talking about it now? And then the last time he came, I was just mad. I said, why are you here? You know, I'm just going to sue y'all because y'all getting on my... now I'm mad. And I'm acting a fool now because I'm mad because I'm tired of seeing you. Yeah. And they were like, well, this is past stuff. We already did past stuff in January.
Yeah.
He's been gone. There's nothing he could do. So you've been over here 3 or 4 times since he's been gone. he ain't here. They just want his money. And they don't care if he go to foster care. And I'm like, even if he went to foster care, you guys can't get approved.
Yeah.
One's a drug addict, one's crazy. And you can't get approved for him.
Yeah.
So you gonna ruin his life?
Ruin his life.
And they're like, we need a social security number, birth certificate. You must think I'm a fool if I'm gonna give you that information. I just
go get it for yourself. Find it.
Yeah, so that's what makes me mad.
Yeah.
And that's what I get mad that everybody got it right in my child's life, in my kids' life. Y'all don't know my kids. You don't know how they act.
That's the point.
You don't know nothing about them.
That's
the
point.
And if you did know them, you wouldn't be able to handle not one. You can't hold. You definitely ain't gonna be able to handle the 17-year-old. That one can argue like ain't nobody else, and there's nothing you're gonna do with him. So that's the 17-year-old. So you can't handle that one. The middle one is the one that's the problem anyway, and he does whatever he wants, when he wants, and how he wants. And then the young one, well, if you get her to start ranting, you can't shut her up, and she gonna tell you how stupid you are and dumb. And I want to go back to my mama. You look dumb and stupid. You and this is why I hate so and so people. And she goes on a whole rant, and then about an hour later, of her talking about how poorly of you are and you ain't worth nothing.
I love you.
No, she ain't gonna talk about she love you, and then now she ain't gonna talk to you. So now that's where they're gonna put them, and then they're gonna say they need psychiatric help. Yeah, cause I wonder why you done took them from their home because you listened to somebody who ain't never stepped foot in my house.
That's right. That's right. Because I'm just blown away by how the system is. And the part is that the school district is no different part from that whole thing. They still say that the 15-year-old has the right, and they don't have to give you any information to help you out at any circumstances.
No, because I think it's all with DHS.
And I just
it all for
really,
DHS.
Yeah.
It all for the only DHS got these stupid rules. Even the police officers that don't know what they like this. That don't make sense.
Yep.
It's only DHS that done run this and I got this school
the
and all
part
that.
that has to get fixed.
Yeah.
It's a broken system and it has to get fixed. And how we step up the plate is like right now when we bring the subject matter to the table, and those that have been affected by it and that are hearing this show, we would love to hear from you and hear what your thoughts on this whole situation, so we as a community can begin to address this situation because it's out of control. And
it's
I
out
don't
of control
know
and
how
it needs to change. How to change
it needs to change.
Yeah, how to change. But that's a representation of it. It's more, and I will say, more of our people and our culture are trying to get positions in office and things like that now, because what I have noticed in the past, if you don't show up, if you're not there, like we can fuss about everything as much as possible, but if our presence is not there are laws and things and things that are happening and they're putting into play without our say, because we're not there to stop it.
I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm just going to be honest, and as honest as I can be on there. That's full of crap. Even when it comes to voting and all that, it's full of crap. They make their rules and they just act like we get to participate in this rule. They're already got it all set.
Where we stopped them from doing something. I know for a fact.
I'm going to just tell you, this has been going on for years. I have never seen them stop DHS from nothing. I have never seen it. But that's what we're talking about. And I'm telling you right now, if they want to think about it, who voted? I mean, out of all the million people that all the protests in the world, and nobody coming to the inauguration of Trump, who voted then? So you know he did not really win. You know it wasn't a fair win. If everybody going against it, and they all rallied for almost 6, 7, 8 months, they was rallying against Trump being president. They are sitting up here trying to fight him to this day, and impeached him, and then they unimpeached him.
But what I'm saying,
and from all the votes, so no, they're not. So little stuff, you guys take the little stuff and go, ooh, if we got that change, that little thing, we got changed. No, we need big things changed. And the DHS is running the states. Mm-hmm. We need those things changed. And no amount of voting and going to meetings and all that means nothing.
But how do we find who's at the top? That's what I'm saying. Who makes it?
Well, I think that first of all, you got to rally and see how many people are agreeing with your topic. Because if you don't have any backup to move anything,
like a petition,
you know, because I mean,
it ain't a
here I
petition
go.
either.
I don't even know a petition.
What do you think? I mean,
It ain't a petition.
What do you think?
My thing is, if you don't have the money to back up what you gonna say, you ain't getting nowhere. And I don't care how somebody want to look at it. You can say I'm wrong, or if you don't got money, it ain't going nowhere. Period. And that's what I keep saying. I said we got all these celebrities that are bantering and fighting and doing all this stuff. Stop doing all that and y'all get together, have a big giant meeting,
make a change,
and sit there and pick out this box, put all the cities and states in a box, and that's what you guys pick out, and make a small black community. That means we have our own stores, our own banks, our own gas station, our own hospital. Make it and then that's our community. Because then once we build on the community, anybody that comes and form, they can help us with our community like they do the Native Americans. That's what we need to do. Because then our rights will be set, because all the money, guess what the money's going to go? To the black community. Instead of going out. There's no, back in the day they used to, one day we're not going to go to any white stores for one day. What is one day? People can hold out for one day. They can't hold out for a month and still last, but they can hold out for one day. You ain't closing down no business for one day.
Yeah, that would be.
I mean, you were not. But if we had our own, we can't close out for more than a day because we don't have our own grocery store, our own food mart, our gas station, a hospital, a clinic, a bank. We don't have that to support ourselves. And then we get mad, like, oh, well, we had a black president. He didn't do anything. What could he do? What do we have? That's ours. So let's build our own black community in each city and state. The major cities and states. Build your own black community in the major cities and states. Then people can start listening to it. But until that happens, y'all can protest and sign petitions and do all that. You ain't getting nowhere but the front door, and they ain't even letting you in. And you can vote all you want, you still ain't getting in. And like we said earlier, if you go to jail, you can't even vote. And that needs to be ceased and dismissed. But you know why it ain't? Because they're using the people in jail's votes to make people like Trump win. Oh, they can't vote, so they put all those people's name in the ballot so they can win.
Right.
So they take your votes away when you're in jail because they're using your vote. It's like if I take your child and get taxes from you, you can get taxes for your child because I don't use it. Now you got to fight and prove it. But who's fighting to prove it? Because we think, oh, you can't use our names because we went to jail. No, they're using your name, boo boo.
Yeah.
They're using your name. So you can say whatever you want to say now. It ain't going anywhere until we start building our own black community. And I love my daughter because she said that's the first thing she did. She gets something, she building the black community. I said do it step by step. Don't try to go in there and push it in there. But every rich black person, white person, whatever, if you want to help us and make Black Lives matter, that's what we need is our own black community. Like Native Americans have theirs. We need ours. Because our rights been stripped way long before everybody else's. And I'm tired. I'm just tired.
You're right.
And people talking about we need to go to this. You wasting your time going. You can have the whole world go to your thing. It ain't going nowhere.
Well, and then there's a lot, and like you have a very big point. And I've heard this said too. It's like you said, we have all these celebrities that have all this money, and if everybody could come together and collaborate, because money is the power. Money is what everything is fueled off of. So like you're saying, if these people had that mindset for our culture to grow, and they all came together, I mean, you look at all the things that LeBron James is doing, all this, I mean, just amazing things.
And then don't get me wrong, celebrities are doing good. But I'm saying let's build a community. Let's not just put into our schools here and there. Let's put a school in a black community. And we all hit these little cities, the big cities and the states. That's what's going to help us. My thing is, you guys have more money. The reason that's why I said celebrities. You have more money, you guys can do big fundraisers to collect more money to go into this stuff. Where as little people, I could do a fundraiser and I might get 1,000, 2,000. Well, if you do, you're going to get 100,000 to 200,000. You might even get $1 million or two. Right. That's where I'm saying, I know it's your money, you can do whatever you want. But to me, you having 10 cars that you can't drive, it's just sitting there. You have 15 beach homes and you have yachts and all this. Some of that money could have went towards that, and you still could buy those things and waste your money. But I'm just saying, that's just me. I'm sorry, and I ranted.
Y'all should, you know what? This has been an awesome show, you guys. Awesome show. Tune in, give us your thoughts as well. Let us know what you think. And tune in next time. We're going to be here on the Talk It Out show.